Hey guys, and welcome to Red Devils United. Thank you for joining me. We are here live to discuss the Manchester United versus West Ham result. 3-1 United. Not a great performance. Not even close to a good performance, but absolutely an important and vital result that now puts us 2 points from top of the league, with Spurs and Liverpool ahead of us. This was a huge 3 points, and there are a few things to cover. A lot of disappointing things that happened. Loads of disappointing things that happened. But an excellent, vital result that happened. Let me just start off with, I wanted to see these three play together, but we had McTominay holding midfielder, and he had an awful game. In fact, we're going to very briefly touch on the first 60 minutes of that match. It was absolutely fucking atrocious. It was one of the worst performances I've seen this season from us, and that is saying something, because Brighton were the match against Brighton was absolutely awful, which we managed to get 3 points in. The match against Arsenal was absolutely atrocious, which we lost. Compare it to last week against Southampton. Against Southampton, we went 2-0 down, but we were, up until those goals, the better team. We had a good first 20 minutes in that match. This was the opposite. We were down 1-0. We should have been down 2 or 3-0. It was an absolutely atrocious performance and display from the lads. Martial was muck. He was absolutely muck. Every time he got the ball to his feet, he lost possession. The defenders were beating him to the ball. If he beat the defender to the ball, his first touch made him lose it. He was constantly getting tackled. He was constantly falling over. He did nothing in that first 60 minutes, and thank God he got injured, because he was just awful. McTominay was rubbish. He was giving away massive amount of unforced errors, passes to Telles, just going out for throw-ins because he couldn't hit his target. 5-yard, 8-yard passes. He kept getting caught on the wrong side of players, and as a holding midfielder, that's a disaster. He was useless. Pogba had a very poor game. I'm one of his biggest supporters, and he was awful for the first 50, maybe 60 minutes. Van der Beek, he for me was playing too high up the pitch. He was the spear or the top of the midfield diamond, but he was playing too far ahead. Every time Pogba got the ball and looked up, Martial wasn't moving, Greenwood wasn't moving, and Van der Beek was too far away to have any kind of close interconnected passes. Cavani was the only one doing any running. Now I think Van der Beek and Cavani were both unlucky to be taken off at half time. I think Pogba, I think McTominay, I think Martial could all have come off instead of Cavani and Van der Beek. However, Ole made decisions at half time, and he can stand by them, because whilst I think Matic should have replaced McTominay because he was shit, Rashford and Bruno completely changed the team when they came on. Now it did take a few minutes. We weren't great from the off in the second half. Maybe 55 minutes in, we started to get a bit more of a foothold. We started to put a bit more pressure on. But it wasn't until we got that goal, like Henderson lumps up the pitch. I mean, you can talk all you want about VAR and a throw-in, but you cannot see if that ball's gone out or not. The ball's not even in the screen when it reaches its highest level. So there's the ball, and then it goes out of the screen. You don't even know what it's doing, and then it comes back in. So we don't know if it was out of play, and it's kind of irrelevant. It took up the pitch. I'm not sure who gets it, maybe Greenwood, but he gives it in, and it's a lovely, unbelievable finish from Pogba to get a goal, to get on the score sheet, and to really then start to elevate his game, because it was from that moment then he elevated his game. He was interconnecting with Bruno really well. They were doing nice 1-2s. Bruno really lifted the team. I know Rashford did really well, and he scored a great goal, but Bruno really lifted the team. He was trying a few passes that were losing us possession, but he done well. Mata, when he came on, that assist for Rashford's goal was brilliant. Brilliant assist from Mata, who done well when he came on. Great, beautiful finish from Rashford, who made up for his miss, his earlier miss. That was really, I wouldn't say it was awful, it was unfortunate. He beats the keeper, but he kind of scuffs the ball and hits the post. But the whole performance just turns around from that first goal. And Man United they're on top. And then actually they're first to the second ball for the first time in the match. Through the whole game, they were second to the second ball. They were second to the third ball. Any loose ball they were second to. But from the first goal then, they start becoming first to the ball. They start passing it well. They're counter-attacking well. They're finding the spaces. Brilliant first touch and finish from Greenwood to get that goal. That was vital for us. In fact, all 3 goals I thought were absolutely brilliant. Really well scored. Not like a rubbish corner kick that West Ham scored from. And West Ham were by far the better team for 50-55 minutes in that game. But their goal was still a set piece, and I'm sick of us conceding 2 set pieces last week against Southampton. I'm tired of conceding goals. We had 50. What the stat came on? 54 corners we scored once, and yet we concede nearly every game from a corner. It's like, what are you doing? Practice your fucking corners. Martial for that corner was awful. Martial was terrible for the whole game, but on that corner, he runs 4 feet forward and gets caught under the ball for the header to be flicked on. Just clear it with your head, you dumb. So we played bad. We played really bad. But then for 30 to 25 minutes, we played really well. From that first goal onwards, we played really well. Scored 3 brilliant goals from open play. And yeah, very, very happy to get the 3 points. Man United, who can play fantastic, unbelievable football, like against Newcastle, Everton, PSG, RB Leipzig. Second half against Southampton, second half against West Ham. They can play great football. Can equally just be awful and not even look like they're trying. And while it was happening previously, one game to be brilliant, and the next game they're really poor, and then another game to be brilliant. Now it's happening within the same game. Now it's like awful for 30-40 minute spells. Go one. We have a club record. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has won more consecutive away games than any manager in the history of Man United Football Club. And yet in the vast majority of them, in I think 6 of 7, we've gone behind. If we could just start the game well and get the first goal, we'd actually be flying. And we just need to get our home form now to actually replicate not our away form as a whole, but our away form in the second half of games after we go a goal down. We need to play like that more consistently for 90 minutes, and then more consistently in consecutive games. But it is now Everton. We lost to Istanbul. No, we lost to PSG, sorry. But it is now Everton, Istanbul, Southampton, and now again with West Ham. We've won kind of four of the last 5 games, or 5 of the last 6 games, which is really good. Considering we were actually pretty decent in spells against PSG, but now we go into Tuesday. It's a massive game. We need a draw. We have to get a win, but a draw is the least we need in order to qualify for the Champions League knockout stages, and we really need to get that result on Tuesday. Obviously Rashford has to start now, even though he hasn't been playing well in some games. He does have a goal and an assist in him. So Rashford starts. Obviously Pogba starts. Beyond that, I think Cavani has to start, even though he got taken off today. Van der Beek. I think Matic has to start against RB Leipzig because, sorry, but McTominay was mucked today. He was poor against PSG. He is just, I don't know, he's not good enough to be a defensive midfielder on his own. At least Matic positionally can do a job. So we wait and see, guys. We put that first half or first hour behind us, and we thank God for Bruno and Rashford in the second half. Greenwood as well was awful in the first half, but him and Pogba really upped their game then in the second half, and the both of them put performances in that I'd like to see for 90 minutes. But a great comeback again. They showed good mentality. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made some good decisions at halftime, even though I myself wouldn't have taken off Van der Beek and Cavani. I'd have taken off Martial and probably Pogba. But Ole's decisions came good. and the players he brought on, Mata, Bruno and Rashford, all played a part with assists and goals. And then Pogba, having stayed on the pitch, lent a hand as well with his own goal to level things up. So again, people can talk about the manager as much as they want, but he made decisions just like he did against Southampton, and they've paid off. And we've come away with 3 points, and now we leave 2 points off top of the table with the same amount of games played. Now yes, Spurs are going to play tomorrow and Liverpool are going to play, but when they do, we'll have a game in hand. So let's see what happens. But right now, we've played the same number of games and we're 2 points off top of the table. If you had said we'd be going into December in that position, I'd have taken it. So let's see, and hopefully now we can just get the performances we need to start matching the results. We can just start to win a few more games comfortably. We watch the pre-game video, okay? Just go down into the list of videos and watch our pre-match talk regarding this game today, West Ham. Myself and Deco were on it, and we were both having a conversation. I asked Deco what did he want, and Deco wanted the game to be won, and he wanted it to be won well. He wanted to be won easy. He didn't want to be difficult. He didn't want to have heart palpitations. He didn't want us to be going behind and then have to come back. And except everything that he didn't want actually happened. A bad performance, a slow start, going behind, all of that, and then luckily we came back and won it. So watch that pre-game video, it's pretty good. Please guys, like, subscribe, share with your friends, help build a channel with a good community. I want to bring in people within the chat. So if you're live, you can chat. It'll show up here in our window, and when you do, I'll be reading out your chats, and we can discuss things back and forth, a bit of banter with each other, and have a bit of fun with it. So please like, subscribe, share with your friends. Would really appreciate it. And thanks very much for all the support as well on the channel, for anybody that does be watching live and that does watch it at all. It's very important. Listen, have a good weekend. Enjoy tomorrow's football, and we'll take the result, and we look forward to Tuesday. I'll chat soon to you guys.
Glory,
have a good one.
Glory, Man United. Glory, glory, Man United.
Glory, glory, Man United, as the Reds go marching on, on, on.
Welcome to Old Trafford.
It's the better of our dreams.
The power and the glory of the Shepherd end will sing. The Busby Boys will take the